What's good, everybody? It's your boy G, and I'm back with another video. This video is a little bit different. Today, I want to talk about basically the survival mindset that we have in growing up in urban communities, aka the hood. I want to start off by saying, first and foremost, in the hood, when you start getting a little bit of money and you get taught how to get money, so to speak, we're really not learning how to get money. We're learning how to survive. But the skills that we're using to survive or basically get that money, we can use those skills in a particular way that is for good. For instance, I'm not going to get too much into my past or what I've done, but let's just talk about the broad horizon of survival in the hood. We have selling illegal substances. We have robbery. We have car theft. We have murder. We have pimping and hoeing. That's human trafficking, what they call it now. They have a lot of different survival mechanisms in the urban communities, and that's really no fault of ours. That's just 9 times out of 10 it's because a lot of things were held from us. So that leads me to go into this topic a little bit more, because I was thinking about it. In the hood, whether we know it or not, we're living in an aspect of fear, and we're living in an aspect of reaction, and we're going living our life basically on autopilot every day, and we're reacting to things instead of responding and approaching things with our God mind. So a lot of the times, I had struggles with getting out of the hood mentality and trying to create business. But I was trying to create business from an aspect of a feeling and a mindset that I was getting from the streets. Now, in sales, literally, that's what gives me my leverage, my edge, my competitive edge, is what I learned from the streets. But the whole thing about the streets versus business is, in the streets you can lose it all. And when you control people's mind through illegal sales or illegal substances or manipulation, then that makes you like I mean, you don't innately feel crummy, but it's not a great feeling. It's not sustainable, if that makes sense. Like, if you were really in the street life and all your income has come from hood shit, the lack thereof. If it all came from, illegal shit, it's not sustainable. It's not. You're not able to go get an apartment. You're not able to go do certain things like, legally. You can do it, but it's just like it just the government is able to take it, and that's what we don't realize when we go down that path of you know selling drugs, robbery, homicide, whatever, is a survival thing. People don't realize that they're living from our animalistic mindset when they do that. And something came to me, and it hit me, and I realized why God said that we're born into sin. Because if you think about it from an evolutionary standpoint, we come from an animalistic like creature. That's what we evolved from. And we evolved from an animalistic mind. Like they say that the mark of the beast is really going to be inside of your head. And that comes from, I forgot what it's called, but it's the lowest. It's like it's a low part of your brain. It's called the basal ganglia, something like that. I gotta look it up, but that's basically our animal mind. And when you operate out of fear, guilt, shame, lack, scarcity, that's the part of your brain that you'll be operating from. So the ideas and the things that come to your head is all going to be based on survival. It's really not going to be based on elevation. It's going to be based on keeping you alive and basically giving you just that next hit. And I realized that in the streets that a lot of the things that you do, it provides like a little dopamine hit. Like it gives you a little adrenaline rush. And that in itself is addictive. That in itself, like, so, you might bust your first jug or whatever, bust your first trap, and that feels good to you. You feel like a man. You might rob somebody. That feels good to you. You feel like a man. So you keep doing it, then you get knocked, and you lose everything. You lose everything. And it's like, it's a trap, because once you get caught and you go behind that wall, you can make a change with a different mindset. You definitely can make a change, and that's why I'm trying to talk to you guys about you can make a change. But you gotta realize why they call it a trap. You get caught, and then you come out, and then you got that charge on you, that felony charge on you, and then you're really not able to do nothing else with your life. It's really hard to get a job in some places. I mean, that's what they make you, feel like. And then people go right back to doing the same thing, because it's like a dopamine hit too. It's like a dopamine hit. Like, you miss that life, you miss getting that fast money. So it's like a dopamine hit. And then it's all you know. It's all you ever really learn. Us as black men, that's what, that's how we, a lot of us come about learning how to get money. Not all of us, but a lot of us have been in that survival mindset. So then you got to think about, even if you're making a lot of money in the streets or what have you, you gotta understand that what you're doing can be used in business. And then if you create if you create value within yourself, and you can show it, in a good light, then you can take your demons and turn it into something positive. Like, I love sales. I love sales. I love sales. I love marketing. And it took me to realize that, once I, got my head out of doing, dumb shit, I realized that I can use those same skills and have a competitive edge, because those business people, they look for, different ways to gain customers, different ways to entice customers. They pay good for that. They pay you for that. And it all starts with mindset. Whoever you are or whoever you want to be, if you feel that feeling, the feeling that you want to feel, you don't have to wait to feel it. If you feel that feeling now, yes, it's going to take time. It's not instant, but it is instant, because things are going to just start coming. Like, it's just going to start. And then, depending on what you decide to do, that's what's going to start propelling you forward, and then you see what sticks. But the main point in that is you have to decide. You have to make a decision on what you want to do after you become what you have to feel it internally. And then once the opportunities start coming to you, don't just wave them off and stay in your old frequency. Start making decisions. Start cutting things off and start making decisions. You know, just make decisions. Be confident. Think positively. That's thinking from your God mind. Like, be calm, think confidently, and be that person that you want to become, that you see your desired future. Be that right now. Walk like that person, talk like that person, eat like that person, sleep like that person. Nothing is impossible. Nothing. Nothing on this green earth is impossible, as long as you believe. Whatever you believe comes true, whether it's good or bad. If you go around thinking about your past all day, or something that happened in the past that's hurting you, if you think about that, that picture is going to play in your mind, and you're going to start getting that same feeling as if it's happening right now, right? It's like daydreaming, right? So you get that same feeling like it's happening right now, and then unbeknownst to you, you're going to start receiving that in your life. And this is why they say that God judges you, because he's within you and he gives you whatever you want. He makes the judgment on whatever you want, good or bad. He's within you. He sees everything that you do. So when you start thinking of the bad things and you start feeling that emotion, you're going to start experiencing bad things in your life. It's and on the opposite effect to that, you could do it with daydreaming and like, you ever had a dream, and in that dream, somebody might have gave you a large amount of money, or you were rich, or whatever, right? It was something in that dream that you liked, and when you woke up, you was like, dang, in this dream, I had such and such, I was whatever. If you hold on to that feeling, and you go in your mind and you capture that visualization, that will come true. Probably not in that same order, but you have to go in your mind, feel that feeling, and you have to believe that it's going to come true. And if it was a certain amount, if you've seen a certain amount in your dream, then grab that amount from that dream, hold that faith like you got it, and it will come. Because that's nothing more than your fourth dimensional self just, you know, going into a different dimension. Like, people don't realize that when you go to sleep in your dream, you're not in your body. I mean, your body's there, your body's asleep, but you can be somewhere so far and consciously seeing other things. And, you know, reality, the real reality, you know, the subconscious, it moves on energy. So in your dream, you might see your mom, but it might be a whole different face. But the energy of the woman that's in your dream, that is your mom or your kid or your wife or whatever, it'll have that same energy. And it'll be like, babe, you were in my dream, but you weren't in my dream. And it was like, you know, because the universe works on energy. Everything is energy. So when your body's laying in the bed, your consciousness goes somewhere totally different. That's how I realized that we can't die. Your body goes, but your consciousness is forever. And that's, you can realize that by when you sleep and you dream. Your consciousness is eternal. It stays. You're always going to be here. Your consciousness is always going to be here. Always. Well, not always here, but your consciousness is, you know what I mean? Like here in heaven, as below, as above, so below, as within, as without. Like, you know, your consciousness is eternal. People don't get that. So people feel limitations in this world depending on what they see based on reality. But reality is the effect world. Shout out to Nero knowledge. Reality is the effect. Who you are, who you be, what you feel is abundant, what you feel like, you know, what you feel like is enough for you, you can have that. You just have to become it. You just have to act like you have it now. Pretend that you have it now. The masks that, and people be like, oh, I can't pretend. But people put on a mask every day. You put on a mask when you go to work and you have to put on a fake smile. You put on a mask whenever you gotta, you know, like whatever. You might be coming home and you take the mask off, or you put on a different mask to be dad. You put on a different mask when you're meeting a different girl and you want to highlight, you know, but you have. People put on masks every day, but when it comes to thinking about how reality works and, you know, pretending to be your best self or pretending to be in your reality, people feel like they can't throw that mask on. But you can throw on any other mask unconsciously, like the mask of being a gangster. Mm. Mm. Cause I ain't gonna lie, it's hard to be a gangster. I always walk around mad. People challenge you, and then you might get challenged. And that ain't even fun. Always fighting, scrapping, shooting, doing stupid shit, getting put like, no, why? Why go through pain? I love. It ain't worth it. But people do that in the hood because it's survival. No different than in the wild where you see fucking two bulls or two moose, you know, going at it. They gotta fight each other because it's mating season. We do shit. Somebody step on my sneakers, yeah, it's on. We doing that. Like, for what? You live over there. I live over here, but I don't like you because you live over there. That's the weirdest. And this skin. You see this skin, the beautiful skin color. We that skin color. And I don't want to sound like, we all unity all together, because sometimes people do some stuff that pisses you off. But that's neither here nor there, bro. I'm like, the genocide that we placed on ourselves. And it's stupid, because if we really came together, then none of this shit would be happening. Somebody killing somebody because they killed their cousin, that killed their cousin, that killed their cousin, that killed their other cousin, that killed their cousin. But when is it going to stop? Because it was all over a bitch. Excuse my language, it's all over a female. And people don't even know, like, whole gang wars done started over, somebody cheating. Why did somebody have to die for somebody cheating? Millions of people dead for somebody cheating. For what? Go to therapy. Move on. Get help. Go to another woman. Go to another man. Just think about why, as black people, why we really kill ourselves. It makes no logical sense. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. It's stupid. When we can be using our powers to really infiltrate the business world, and from what we've been through, what we know, I'm telling you, when we get in there, they don't even understand how we do it. They don't understand it. They don't understand it. And it's all with changing your mind, changing your frequency, changing your reality. You don't got to think in lack or scarcity or survival or fear. You don't got to think like that. You can think positive every day. Yes, you're not going to have all sunny days. Life has its ups and downs. But you control how you feel. You decide whether you want to be sad or not. And if you get sad based on something that's outside of you, something that you have no control over, then you don't have no control over yourself. You're a weak person. It doesn't matter what happens outside of you. As long as you stay strong internally, yes, you will have your good days and bad days. You are human. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, you choose to stay mad, or you choose to stay sad, or you choose to, you choose that. You decide that. You decide that. The same way you decide to be upset, sad, mad, and living in fear, you can decide to change that and just live in, abundance. And by abundance, meaning everything is okay. You have more than enough. You have enough. You have enough. You think positive. Whatever you do is going to work. No doubt. No doubts. No regrets. If you live in the past, that's living in depression. When you live in the future too much, that's a form of anxiety. So the perfect place to stay is the now, because the now builds everything. Time isn't real. The only thing that matters is now. Whether it's yesterday or tomorrow, now makes that. Now creates the yesterday and tomorrow. So now is all that matters. And if you stay in the now, instead of thinking about something in the past, like, you cannot reach into your past and change it externally, you can reach in your past and change it internally, though. So if it's something that's haunting you or messing you up terribly, just just too bad, and you can't shake it, change that what happened in your mind. Change the outcome of what happened in your mind. And that doesn't extrapolate for losing a loved one. But if you lost a loved one and you're dealing with that, all you have to realize is that consciousness is eternal. Just because you can't see or feel that person right now does not mean that they're not here. Or does not mean that they can't see or feel you. They're still here. There's no such thing as death. You can die physically, yes, but consciously, think about all the good times and the good memories and the lessons that that person gave onto you. Remember those times. You have them in your mind. And be joyous when you think of them. When they visit you in a dream, enjoy them. This physical world is not real. The spiritual world is 10 times, 100 million times realer than this. So when you see a loved one in your dreams, or you can think and imagine a loved one, you have them with you forever. Forever. They never leave. They never leave you. It's hard to feel like you can't reach out and touch them, but you can always imagine that you're hugging them, you're embracing them. You can always connect. You can always connect. The infinite consciousness is infinite. It's infinite. It's infinite. God is all powerful. He can do literally any and everything because he is any and everything. Stop doubting yourself. Believe in yourself. Decide. Make a decision. Don't think on it too long. Just do it. Just go and do it. But don't do it from your survival mindset. Fix who you are internally first. And then the actions will come to you. Micro actions. And if you just want to do something, go out for a walk and enjoy the day. Look at the abundance that God has created. If you want to do something, go out and look at the abundance that God has created. Take a walk. Take time for yourself. Take time to learn you and what you like. But become the person of your desired reality right now. You do not have to wait. You only want a feeling. You're looking for a certain feeling. You can embody that feeling at any moment. It doesn't matter what your bank account is. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. I know that's hard when you're looking at your bank account and it's -0. When your bank account -0, I understand because I've been there. But what I'm telling you is, don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. Do not dwell on it. Become the person that you want to become, no matter how you gotta get out of looking at your dang bank account. Or look at your bank account until it does not bother you anymore. Either or. You cannot let the external affect this. So it's a a technique you can use. If you keep on looking at you just look at it until it no longer hurts you, until you no longer feel no feelings with looking at the negative zero. Or don't look at it at all. Don't even look at it at all, and imagine that the amount that you want in there is in there, and be confident on it. Hold the feeling of it being there. Hold the feeling of it being there. And if you're hungry and you literally have no money for a bite to eat, sometimes putting your pride to the side. You have to put your pride to the side sometimes and ask for food. Sometimes people get too caught up on what they're lacking, and they refuse to see the abundance and the goodness that God has. Every problem you have can be solved. You have to believe it. You have to believe in yourself. Belief in identity. No more using our powers for bad. I mean, if you want to, do your thing. I can't stop you. But what we learn from the streets, we can use it in business. And we can elevate ourselves and become gentlemen, true gentlemen. Because if we keep carrying on how we carry on, and I know I'm dressed like this right now, but if we keep carrying on how we carry on, they're not going to let us in the door. You feel me? They're not going to let us in the door. They'll lock the door. They'll see us coming from a mile away. So we got to learn how to talk. We got to learn how to write. We got to learn how to read better. We got to learn how to understand things. We got to learn how to comprehend. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to learn how to infiltrate their society and establish a new rule, establish what we need, you know? That's not gonna happen if we keep on playing the outside games, talking about young ninja, YN, old, like, come on, man. Come on, man. OG, YN, like, come on, man. We can do way better for ourselves. And the gifts that we have, like, we are abundant. We are abundant. In a few weeks, I'm going to start coaching calls, to help brothers like me, or that was like me, that, come from the hood and want to get out of that mindset and get into business and, get into wealth and entrepreneurship. I want to create a family, man. So starting in the next 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, I'm going to give a group coaching call. You can join in on the group. It's going to be $50 a month. And if you want to do, personal calls, I'll do 4 calls a month for $150. And that way we can elevate together. We can grow. We can, I can see where you are in life, and I can give you some tips and pointers on how to guide you and get you to that next level and get you out of the survival mindset and elevate it into making real money, real wealth, and, stabilizing your family and your growth. It's your boy G, and I'm checking out. I'll be back next week with more.